I understand the views that the people are putting out there. When you are bereaved, you say things that sometimes you regret to say in one day. Those views that are for and against, I understand and respect them. But we need to focus on the issue because the blame game is not taking us anywhere than focusing, uniting our efforts, all of us, the police and the community, to ensure that the safety of our community is done. And that we can do when we united. If we are working on the very narrative that the gangs are trying to divide the community by calling and blame games, then we are playing on their hands to divide us so that we can fail to do the job that is ahead of us to ensure that the community is safe.
Yeah. The Western... Sorry, Commissioner, continue. I thought you had done with your thought process.
No, I'm done. You can continue. But...
All right. The Western Cape crime statistics, they showed some progress in the month of May. However, bodies are continuing to pile up, Commissioner. What is the problem?
In our analysis, Polly, we've seen that there's been a flare in the last 3 weeks. That has caused within the gangs themselves, one gang fighting amongst themselves. And those that were in prison who either were found not guilty or were stayed long in the prison and are out, and now they're wanting to have footing. They found themselves without any footing outside. That is one part. And the second part, we've seen also the theft between the other gangs in the other areas. That flare started in Muizenberg, Grassy Park, and Philippi. And those are the stations that we're focusing on. After we had an issue in Mrs. Plain some time ago, where we looked at locking down those areas and be on the spot where the gang flares were, and then shifted to Muizenberg and all that. When we arrested the person of interest in the Muizenberg area, we've seen also the decline in the incidents that are reported. That does not mean that there are no incidents. And I think I want to correct that to say, when we say it has shifted to other areas, it does not mean that it's not happening, but the incidents are lesser than they were before. Our approach now is we're doing continent searches in the areas, we're doing lockdowns, and we're looking for the wanted suspects and searching the gangs' houses. But there is a provincial anti-gang strategy where all the other departments, they are coming together to have a strategy, and the Department of Police Oversight in the province is leading in that space. And I think there's a lot of good work that's been done there. Our CPFs and our neighborhood watches in the areas, they are doing a wonderful job. But when there is a flare, you will find that flare, once it is concerned, then it is moved to the other areas, as hence it has happened in this time.
Yeah. A recent discovery of weapons hidden in a house in the area of Lengtegee, this was this week. You were leading that particular media briefing to journalists there. You raised this question yourself, that this is very interesting because these guns and ammunition are hidden far away from places where the actual violence is taking place. And therefore, you said, who is fueling the gang violence, but also importantly, who is supplying their weapons? What is your response to that? What is your intelligence gathering telling you?
Look, without revealing much on how we got those guns there, but the pattern that we have been seeing now this year, these guns are not stored in the areas where the violence is. They are stored in the quiet areas, even in the CBD of Cape Town, where we found guns and drugs worth 18 million, and in the Belleville South. So we are seeing that pattern that these firearms are not stored in the areas where they are used. Then you'll find that they're using the quiet areas where they store the firearms. But our intelligence is on the ground working on it. Hence, we could find these guns. But what we are requesting and we're appealing to the community, they know this where they are. They must just assist us to get us information or tell us where these things are so that we can get these guns, because the weapon of choice in the Western Cape is guns, illegal firearms. We are confiscating between 40 to 70 firearms a week of recently. That is where now we are seeing that these firearms, most of them, they may be coming from other countries because they are not in our systems. Now, that is now the place where we are following now. Where are they coming from and how are they getting here?
I used that particular unit of crime intelligence deliberately, Commissioner, because I know that for some time the Western Cape has not had the head of crime intelligence. How compromised have you been in your fight to not only get to crime scenes where people are dead, but remember the work of crime intelligence is to detect these attacks before they happen? How badly compromised have you been?
Look, the absence of a head of crime intelligence, of course, it's an issue that I think the National Commission is attending to it, and it may have some also shortfalls on that, because any shortage of one member in any way in the province, it means a lot to us.
So you still don't have a crime intelligence head?
Currently, no. We have an acting crime intelligence head who's just doing a wonderful job, but it would be appreciated that then we finally get a permanent crime intelligence. I know that the National Commissioner is working on that to have that expedited.
Sure. How long has this period been without a crime intelligence head?
Probably I'd be lying, but it's over 6 months or almost a year that there has been that vacuum. But the person that is there is doing a steering job to acting as a commander. Most of the time, yes, we would say that we don't have a crime intelligence head, but the job that we get and the product that we're getting from there is assisting us to be where we are, to get these guns that we're getting and the drugs that we're getting around in these areas, and also the most arrests that we're doing in the extortion and kidnappings. That acting commander, is doing a wonderful job, but we would appreciate that if then you get a permanent appointment.
Yeah. Commissioner, let me broaden our discussion. How difficult is it to do the job of policing when at the very top of the organization there seems to be dysfunction? I'm talking about the current issues that are at play. Are you able to get the assistance that you need?
No, we do get the assistance. For example, we had additional deployment for the National Commissioner's Office that has been deployed. In the gang stations that we have identified 13 police stations that contribute 75% of our gang murders and attempted murders, and 5 guns that we're getting. We got additional 200 members from the National Commissioner. And with ourselves that we also deployed additional 800 members, including the City of Cape Town's people that are giving us 200 to focus on those stations. Yes, we're getting assistance from the National Commissioner. And our approach is that we focus in the areas where our area of competence, where we work in the Western Cape. And all of us, I believe that all of us as provincial commissioners, we focus where we are and we do what we have to do for the provinces where we're working in, and also ensuring that there's safety in those provinces.
So the divisions at the top of police management, you are saying they do not have a destabilizing effect on the police's work on the ground. Is that what you are telling us?
from where I'm sitting, we do not see that from where I'm sitting. If there is, it will be very minimal, but the 99.9% of our focus is in the job that we're doing, and we're getting that kind of assistance from the management of the National Commissioner and his management nationally.
You'll correct me if I'm wrong here, Commissioner. I'm letting you go, but I can't do that without asking you this question. Today, we learned through that court process that you are the person that is charged with the internal disciplinary process of Shadrack Sibiya. Where is that process right now?
Well, I think that the competent person to answer that question will be the National Commissioner. And as it sits in the court, it's been ventilated in the court, then the National Commissioner could explain how far is that process.
I'm going to push you a little bit. Is it true, based on what we heard in court, is it true that General Sibiya might actually be suspended based on at least what you have been able to investigate thus far? Because at the moment, he's on a leave of absence. But is this leading to a suspension?
That I wouldn't know. If my part was to investigate it will give to the National Commissioner or the functionary who makes the decisions. My part was appointed to do that part, and was done, and the next one would be the National Commissioner's decision, as it is, the law allows and authorizes him to do so.
All right. So you've handed your report to the National Police Commissioner.
As I said, Colin, that information, that response, National Commissioner must respond on that one.
Well,
I will not be the competent person to say it is there, it's not there. But I will admit that I was appointed to do it, which I did. But where it is, the National Commissioner will then be the responsible person to answer that question.
Well, Thembisile Patekile, thank you very much for your time. And yeah, I had to put that last question because we learned this today. Thank you very much for your time, sir, this evening. Thembisile Patekile is the Western Cape Police Commissioner.